Why you feel disconnected from yourself. Have you ever had the strange feeling that you are living your life, but not truly living it? You wake up, go through your routine, talk to people, scroll through your phone, complete your responsibilities, and then another day passes. Weeks pass. Months pass. Yet somewhere deep inside, something feels missing. Not physically, not materially, but internally. It feels as though you have become separated from something essential. Separated from your peace. Separated from your clarity. Separated from yourself. And the strangest part is this: most people cannot explain why they feel this way. From the outside, life may appear normal, maybe even successful, but inside there is confusion, emotional exhaustion, and a quiet emptiness that never completely disappears. You try to distract yourself from it. You stay busy. You consume more. You chase goals. You seek validation. You keep moving. But no matter how much you do, the feeling eventually returns. Because the problem is not outside of you. The problem is that somewhere along the way, you lost connection with your inner self. According to the wisdom of Lao Tzu, this disconnection is the root of much human suffering. Lao Tzu believed that human beings suffer because they move too far away from their natural state. They stop listening, stop observing, and stop being present. Instead of flowing naturally with life, they begin forcing everything. They force identities, force success, force relationships, and force happiness. Slowly, without realizing it, they begin living according to the expectations of the world rather than the truth within themselves. That is where disconnection begins, not in one dramatic moment, but gradually, quietly, over time. As children, most people feel naturally connected to themselves. They laugh freely, express emotions honestly, and live with curiosity and presence. They do not constantly question whether they are enough. But as life goes on, something changes. The world begins teaching them who they should be. Be more successful. Be more attractive. Be more productive. Be more accepted. Little by little, people begin abandoning parts of themselves in order to fit into the world around them. They suppress emotions, hide vulnerability, ignore intuition, and silence their inner voice. Until eventually, they no longer know who they truly are. This is why many people feel lost even when their life appears complete. Because external success can never replace internal connection. Modern life makes this disconnection even worse. Today the world constantly demands your attention. Your mind is always occupied by notifications, noise, comparison, pressure, and endless information. There is almost no silence left. And without silence, it becomes difficult to hear yourself. Most people are surrounded by so much noise that they no longer know what they truly feel. They no longer know whether their desires are genuinely theirs or simply ideas absorbed from society. They no longer know what actually brings them peace because they never stop long enough to listen. Lao Tzu understood something powerful: stillness reveals truth. Not constant movement. Not endless thinking. Not external validation. Stillness. But stillness is uncomfortable for many people because when distractions disappear, they are finally left alone with themselves. And many people are afraid of what they might discover. So they keep running. Not because they enjoy the chase, but because slowing down forces them to confront their emptiness. This is why so many people feel exhausted, not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Their energy is constantly flowing outward toward expectations, social approval, endless goals, and proving themselves. Very little energy remains for inner awareness. And without inner awareness, disconnection grows. One of the biggest reasons people lose connection with themselves is because they stop trusting themselves. They trust opinions more than intuition. They trust trends more than inner wisdom. They trust external approval more than personal truth. Over time, this creates deep internal conflict. Part of you knows what feels right, while another part fears rejection. Part of you desires peace, while another part fears slowing down. Part of you wants authenticity, while another part wants acceptance. This conflict slowly drains your spirit. Eventually, you begin feeling disconnected not because you lack answers, but because you stopped listening to your own voice. Lao Tzu often spoke about simplicity, not only external simplicity, but internal simplicity. He believed that clarity comes when people stop overcomplicating life. But modern society encourages endless mental noise. People constantly analyze, compare, judge, and overthink. their minds never rest. And when the mind becomes too noisy, it becomes impossible to feel connected. Because connection does not happen through excessive thinking. It happens through awareness. There is a difference. Thinking is mental activity. Awareness is presence. Most people spend their entire lives thinking, but very few truly observe. Very few pause long enough to ask themselves difficult questions. What am I truly feeling? What kind of life actually brings me peace? Why am I constantly seeking approval? Who am I beneath all these expectations? These questions are uncomfortable, but they are necessary because self-connection begins with honesty. And honesty requires silence. One of the deepest teachings of Lao Tzu is that human beings suffer when they move against their natural flow. Imagine a river. A river moves effortlessly. It does not force itself. It does not compete. It simply flows according to its nature. But human beings constantly resist themselves. They resist emotions, uncertainty, vulnerability, and rest. This resistance creates suffering. Many people are disconnected from themselves because they are constantly pretending. Pretending to be stronger than they are. Pretending to be happier than they feel. Pretending to have everything figured out. But pretending requires enormous energy. Eventually it becomes exhausting. The more masks you wear, the harder it becomes to remember your real face. This is why authenticity feels so peaceful. Because authenticity removes resistance. You stop performing. You stop forcing. You stop chasing identities. Slowly, you begin reconnecting with yourself. But this process takes courage because reconnecting with yourself often means letting go of who the world told you to be. It means facing emotions you avoided, questioning beliefs you inherited, and slowing down enough to feel what you have been suppressing. Most people avoid this journey because it is uncomfortable. But discomfort is often the doorway to transformation. Lao Tzu believed that softness is strength. This idea is difficult for modern society to understand because the world celebrates hardness, control, dominance, and endless productivity. But Lao Tzu observed nature carefully and realized that what is soft often survives longer than what is rigid. Water is soft, yet water shapes mountains. Human beings become disconnected because they become emotionally rigid. They stop allowing themselves to feel. They build walls around emotions to avoid pain. But when you block pain completely, you also block joy, love, and connection. True healing begins when you stop fighting yourself. Not when you become perfect. Not when you achieve more. Not when the world finally approves of you. Healing begins when you allow yourself to be human. When you stop treating yourself like a project that constantly needs fixing. When you finally sit quietly and listen. This is why solitude can be powerful, not loneliness, but conscious solitude. Time alone without distraction. Time to observe your thoughts, reconnect with your emotions, and hear your inner voice again. Nature teaches this lesson beautifully. Mountains do not rush. Rivers do not force themselves. Trees do not compare themselves to one another. Nature simply exists. And when human beings spend time in nature, they often feel calmer because they temporarily reconnect with simplicity. Modern life pulls people away from simplicity. Everything becomes excessive. Too much information, too much stimulation, too much comparison, too much pressure. Eventually the soul becomes overwhelmed. Disconnection is often not caused by lacking something. It is caused by too much noise. Lao Tzu believed that peace comes not from adding more, but from removing what is unnecessary. Removing mental clutter. Removing false identities. Removing excessive desire. Because beneath all that noise, your true self is still there, quietly waiting. The tragedy is that many people spend their entire lives searching for themselves externally through success, relationships, status, and validation. But the deeper they search outside themselves, the more disconnected they become. Because self-connection is not something you achieve. It is something you return to. You return to your awareness. You return to your intuition. You return to your inner stillness. This is why Lao Tzu emphasized the importance of emptiness. In modern culture, emptiness sounds negative, but Lao Tzu saw emptiness differently. He understood that emptiness creates space. A cup is useful because it is empty. A room is useful because there is space inside it. The human mind becomes clear when it is no longer overcrowded. Most people fill every moment with stimulation because they fear emptiness. But emptiness is not the enemy. It is where awareness begins. When you stop constantly consuming, you begin observing. When you stop constantly performing, you begin feeling. When you stop constantly chasing, you begin understanding. Slowly, connection returns, not dramatically, not instantly, but quietly. Your thoughts become clearer. Your emotions become more honest. You stop needing constant validation. You begin feeling present in your own life again. Reconnecting with yourself does not mean becoming someone new. It means removing what was never truly you. The fear, the pressure, the masks, the endless need to prove yourself. Lao Tzu believed that human beings are naturally connected to peace when they stop resisting their true nature. But modern society trains people to constantly resist themselves, to hide emotions, to seek approval, to compare constantly. And this creates endless inattention. Peace does not come from becoming more impressive. Peace comes from becoming more authentic. This is why many people who achieve external success still feel empty. Because external achievement cannot replace inner alignment. Eventually every human being reaches a moment where distractions stop working. And in that moment, they are forced to confront themselves. Some people see this as a crisis. But sometimes it is actually the beginning of awakening. Feeling disconnected is painful. But that pain may also be a message. A message telling you that you have moved too far away from yourself. And perhaps the answer is not to chase more. Perhaps the answer is to return. Return to stillness. Return to awareness. Return to simplicity. Return to honesty. Because beneath all the noise, your true self still exists. Quietly waiting. And maybe healing does not begin when you become someone new. Maybe healing begins the moment you finally stop running from who you already are.